Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for Spheres of Influence People You Should Know. This is Daniel Winton, again, where our mission is to facilitate meaningful discussions with the people who shape industries and our communities. Through engaging interviews and thought provoking content, we strive to provide our audience with actionable insights, expert advice, and valuable connections. Field of Sphere of Influence seeks to be a trusted resource for individuals seeking to expand their knowledge, network, and opportunities on their personal and professional journeys. And I want to tell you folks today, we have someone that's really, really special. Everyone is always concerned about how do we get employees? How do we get the right people in our organization? And I'm bringing today Lovely Brooks, who is going to talk to us a little bit about what she does, how she got into her field. And I'm so excited. I know you're going to be blessed. So, hello, Lovely. How are you?
Hello. Hi. Thank you so much for having me here.
Well, do you want to take a few minutes and just tell people who you are, what you do, and what you're famous for?
Yes, sure. My name is Lovely Brooks, and I'm the founder of Lovely Occasions and etc. And we are actually a virtual assistant agency. We specialize in operations, so we are an operations firm in consulting, but we do it all remotely. So that is a little bit what we do. We really focus in on doing executive assisting, online business management, and project management. So those are kind of our three focuses.
Okay. Well, tell me, Lovely, this. Just for the people out there, small business owners just getting started, what does the operations, when you say you specialize in operations, what does that mean to a small business owner?
Absolutely. So we look at three major pillars in your business, which is going to be your revenue, your tools and systems, and then your people. So, again, like you mentioned earlier, making sure you're getting the right people in the right seats, that there's not a gap in expertise. We look and make sure that you have everything automated before you start looking at delegation. And we look at how to optimize your revenue, of course, because that is what we want to keep you in and make sure that you're sustainable and optimize your business growth as a whole.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I've heard that you can never rise above your systems. Do you find that to be a true statement?
Ooh. Yes, yes, I do. Yes, I do. You want to have really good systems. If you don't have good systems, you're going to be doing things manually. You're going to be missing money. You're going to be
Okay.
taking up a lot of time. So it is very hard to rise above your systems or lack thereof.
Excellent. Well, I've definitely heard that, and it's so good to be able to put our people in contact with a person that fundamentally understands that regarding small business. Now, you look really, really young. Can you share your journey on how you started in your field?
Well, first of all, thank you for that compliment. I'm not sure if if
You know,
I
we're
would really
talking
meet
about
the
operations. You
expectations.
you you think about people that have been doing that 25, 30 years, and you hear all these things. Those terms are really intimidating for small business owners. So again, we are
Yes.
so thankful to have you here that you can break that down for us to understand. But we'd like to know how you got there. What made you decide to do what you're doing?
Absolutely. Well, I started off just doing physical event planning. I would set
Okay.
up event plans planning for Fortune 500 companies. I was the program director regionally for Girl Scouts of Kentuckiana.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I did a lot of events and I just love the outcome and I love the feeling of it. So in 2019, I went into entrepreneurship and started an event planning business.
Okay.
However, the pandemic, like many other businesses, did affect. So I actually had to transition. And at that point, I learned more about how to do it remotely. So I started doing event planning. That's where the lovely occasions, etc., comes in. And
Okay.
then people wanted me to start working on their operations, their project management, because project management and event planning really are similar, and it just kind of grew from there.
Wow, excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, let me ask you this. What are some of the key challenges that you faced in your career, and how did you overcome them? How did you work through those?
Oh man. Now, as an entrepreneur, I think there's a whole new set of key challenges. So I want to be clear there. If you are a small business owner and you have, there's the challenge of imposter syndrome, which we all want to make sure that we're doing well. Making all of the decisions, that's a big adjustment from corporate space to doing it yourself. Even though maybe we looked at our bosses and we were like, I could do what they're doing. It's different in the entrepreneurship world because then you own all of that. So as far as how have I just went through it, how have I dealt with especially those two particular, I just kept going. I feel like, action really does breed clarity. So I just kept going. And as I kept going, I would make mistakes, I would learn from them, and then I would just keep going and I would grow in that way. So for, wondering if you are, really good enough with the imposter syndrome, you start getting challenging pieces and challenging projects. And
Okay,
then as you go through them, you're like, oh, I got this. Okay, I can do this. And then you do it again. And then after a while, it just becomes part of your comfort zone.
excellent, excellent. Well, let me ask you this. What role has networking played in your success? And do you have any networking tips? Because I always ask people, if someone was going to get into your industry, how would you help them do that? But I want to hear what you have to say about networking because you seem like you've had a lot of interesting jobs over the years.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I have done all different types of industries. So, with networking is amazing. I think you have to go into it with an open mind
Okay,
and not so much as I'm going to see my next client. Because networking can take you to endless possibilities, even if
all
they
right.
don't seem like they're your ideal client. When it
What do
comes
you
to
mean? What does that mean? Even if they're
most of
your idea.
my Sure, most of the people that I have met networking have become my collaborators. So
Okay,
maybe they aren't my clients, but then we work together so they can refer clients to my business and I can refer clients to their business. If they're not my ideal client, maybe they know someone else. But I will say I have met a lot of collaborators networking.
all
And
right.
it Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was
No.
just thinking about the follow-on question that I have with you. Because you do virtual assistants, what trends or innovations are you foreseeing in the industry? Everyone is seeing how AI is impacting their business. What are you seeing in your space? What are you seeing there?
AI is a major tool, major, major, but
Okay.
it is for your efficiency. It
Okay.
is to help optimize. I know some people are a little nervous that it's going to be more of a replacement.
All right.
But I don't believe it's a replacement. I believe, it would be best for you to get in front of that trend, learn the AI, and use it best for your systems.
Okay.
Um, and then you would still want a human to actually help manage that and optimize it because it's still only going to do what you ask it to do.
Okay, because we see all these shows on TV and you hear the voices, and it's actually very difficult to tell the difference between AI and a normal person. When you're saying that you want human interaction or backup, how does that work with the two? How are you blending those together?
Absolutely. You need to have someone who is knowledgeable about how AI works.
Okay,
If they're knowledgeable about how AI works, then you can blend the two together. Now,
okay,
if you aren't knowledgeable about how it works, then I believe you would actually go backwards because you're going to be missing some
Mm,
steps. It
okay.
is computerized. You still have to tell it what you want to get the best results.
All right.
And in order to do that, you need someone who's knowledgeable, who knows the best way to get what it is you want out of the AI.
Okay. Okay. Well, can you share a memorable success story or project that you're particularly proud of?
Yes. I remember I had worked for Jack Henry and Associates as a workforce coordinator. And one of the things we had to do was help with charity events. And I did help with the charity events and set up everything to get that going in our space in our regional area. And we did the Big Sister, Little Sister program and started working with them together. I also do sponsor the little food pantries. Our business sponsors the food pantries. So we have those food pantries throughout our communities that are built, and you can actually just, it doesn't matter your income, doesn't matter who you are. You can go in there, you can get whatever you need. And then hopefully, when things are better, then you can replace them as well. So those are just some of the things, our passion projects that we do as well.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, let me ask you this. As a person of color, a woman, how do you balance your professional success along with your personal well-being and being an
Mm,
entrepreneur?
that's a lot, and it's a very tall order. But I, first of all, I appreciate you asking that, and I appreciate the straightforwardness with that question. It's difficult to do. I am also a single mother of two, so I have many, many responsibilities. But the biggest one that I have found, especially being an entrepreneur, is pouring into ourselves. So, really making time for myself. There's only certain hours I'm going to do business, certain hours I'm even going to do other responsibilities outside of business. And then there's just time to pour into myself. So that can look like reading a book and just spending time with myself. That could be having a spa day. We can't always do spa days. I know we love to indulge, but there's other ways to take care of ourselves too. So I definitely try to focus on the mind, the body, the spirit, the whole 9 yards, because it will, if you do not take care of yourself, you can't really do anything else. So definitely take time for yourselves, ladies. Make sure that you're being good to yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know that's one of the big things that we tell people here is that entrepreneurship is not easy. And you can see that on the internet and people, oh, I took this course and then 2 weeks later I was making
Yeah,
$10,000 a month and that's just not real. It's sometimes it's just you're
exactly.
crying, you're pushing so hard and you have to take a few minutes, a few days for yourself just to kind of get it all together because you will burn yourself out. And if you're
Yes.
not there for your clients, then you've hurt both yourself and your clients. But what is your vision for the future? What both career and in your industry?
I think our industry is just really growing. Online businesses are flourishing. The overhead cost is lower. There's plenty of benefits for employers, employees, contractors, for you to do work remotely, for you to have an online business. So I just see it flourishing. Now, I do know that there's the trend right now. Everybody wants everyone to go back into the office, but the real truth of the matter is there's so many benefits for the person seeking the position that it's really going to be hard for, I want to say, this generation and generations that follow to just accept you have to be in the office. There's a lot of pushback there. And I think with good reason. So I see it growing. I see a lot more hybrid. I see a lot more virtual assistants in different niches. Now, a lot of people will be like, Lovely, are you really a virtual assistant? But I provide services remotely. And virtual assisting is just a general term. So there's so many people out here who have been in executive positions and now they're using their skills. They're doing it remotely and they're getting paid either just as much or more. And I just see this trend just really growing. And as far as my personal or professional growth, ours is just to keep growing, to find more collaborators. We really want to work with more businesses.
Okay.
We want to, in the future, go to corporations, help train their teams on how to be best efficient remotely or hybrid, because we know that's a challenge out there. But there is definitely a way to do it where it can still feel just as efficient as being in the office.
One question I know that I get a lot from business owners regarding virtual assistants. How do you make sure you've hired the right people and they're not going to steal all your data and then run away and do all kinds of crazy stuff?
Well, I would say one, those are very legitimate concerns.
Okay.
Contracts, and contracts.
Okay.
I'm all about those contracts. So you do have legal backing. If
Okay.
the person you're going to is not aware or they don't offer a contract,
All right.
that is also or always a red flag off the
Hmm.
get go.
Okay.
Because if they are, I don't want to say professional, but if they're professional and that's what you're seeking, they would want to protect their business just as much as they want to protect your business.
Okay.
So it can be
Yeah.
twofold. You need to have a contract. You need to make sure you're being explained in the onboarding process exactly what the next steps are. Ask those questions. How are you going to protect my stuff? I would be very transparent and upright, up forth with it. I know that we work with small business owners all the way to CEOs, and we definitely make sure that every step of the way we're guiding them on what's happening and answering their questions.
Yeah, that is amazing because I know that that has been a lot of the questions that I have from small business owners. Well, do you know anyone that does VAs? I said, yes, I do. So Brooks is the person that you're going to want to talk to regarding that. As a matter of fact, before we take a short break, I want you to just tell the folks, give them your information. How can they get a hold of you and all the pertinent data that you feel that was important? Because we certainly want to make sure we leave enough time for that.
Absolutely. The best way to contact me is to email me. Our email is contact at Lovelee, Lovelee, occasions, etc.com. So that is the best way to get a hold of me. And we do consulting with business owners. You do not have to use our VAs if you have questions about VAs. We do little calls on that to make sure that you are getting the right VA. So we do the consulting and we do the operations, but we understand if you are not ready to do or you need a different service, we're more than happy to help you find the right VA for you. Um, and we do have excellent track record and we know the right questions to ask. So by all means, reach out if you just have questions. Virtual assisting will be more than happy to help you with that.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, the last question that I have for you today, um, what final piece of wisdom would you like to share with our audience of encouragement? What would you like to just leave with them regarding your organization?
Hmm. I think the biggest one, because I am a dreamer, and it's a little cliche, but I would just tell people to keep going. Keep going. It is hard, like we've discussed, entrepreneurship is hard, but if there's something that's laid on your heart to do, then it's meant for you to go out there and do it. So put the fear aside. There's going to be nights where maybe you don't understand or you're questioning if you're on the right path. But again, if it's laid on your heart, there are people out there who are waiting for you to come out there and put the impact on the world. So, and if you need a virtual assistant to help empower that, we're here for that. But keep going.
Certainly appreciate that you stopped by and saw us today. We're going to go ahead and let you go so I can shut this show down for today. But of course, everyone, you've had an opportunity to meet a foremost professional in the field of VAs. And as you can see, she knows absolutely what's going on, especially in the field of operations as well. It's a beautiful, beautiful blend of what you're going to need as a small business owner. And as the owner here, operating in the black, we certainly appreciate you stopping in and seeing us today with spheres of influence, people you should know. And we definitely can't wait to see you on next week. But definitely tune back in. And again, thank you so much for stopping by and seeing us.